What if Naruto had Rinnegan? The dojutsu system is one of the brightest highlights in how Naruto's power system was built, and among the 3 great eye techniques, the Rinnegan stands at the very top. Anyone who gets it instantly becomes insanely overpowered. So what if, instead of Nagato, Naruto was the one who received the Rinnegan? How would that change the story? Everything would have gone down a different path right from the moment Madara died of old age. In this version, Madara doesn't go looking for Nagato or implant the eyes in him. Instead, he directly hands the Rinnegan over to Obito. But at that time, Obito's body couldn't handle both Rinnegan. He simply wasn't strong enough to control that much power all at once. So, Obito implanted one Rinnegan into his right eye, the same place where his Sharingan used to be. The other eye, he carefully hid inside Kamui's dimension. There, the second Rinnegan would stay protected until the day he was ready. Far away in the Rain Village, Nagato kept living his life. Without the Rinnegan, sure, but he still carried the rare Uzumaki bloodline and an unshakable will. Alongside Yahiko and Konan, they still founded the Akatsuki, chasing peace in the chaotic shinobi world. Their new path was about restoring Ninshu. Obito also joined this organization to use the power of the strongest ninjas to help collect the tailed beasts. He manipulated Nagato by telling him that they could restore Ninshu by collecting the power of the 6-path sage, meaning the tailed beasts and the Rinnegan. Obito summoned the Gato-Mazo with the power of the Rinnegan with chakra traces from Nagato, and by handing out special rings to each member, he could control the massive statue and lock it deep inside Akatsuki's hideout. And from here, the story continued almost like the original. Obito attacked on the night Kushina gave birth to Naruto. He released the 9 tails from her and used it to attack the village. Minato and Kushina risked everything to protect the village and their newborn son. In the end, Minato sealed half of the beast into Naruto and gave his life. But during that chaos, something no one knew happened. Obito slipped in and implanted the second Rinnegan, the one he had always kept hidden, into the newborn Naruto. With Uzumaki blood, the 9 tails chakra, and a Rinnegan, Naruto would become the perfect weapon for Obito's plan. He didn't plan to use the boy right away. Instead, he left the eye inside Naruto, waiting for the day he could fully control him. Naruto grew up alone, hated, and completely unaware of the power hiding inside him. He struggled with the 9 tails chakra. Everything happened just like the original story. The Uchiha clan downfall, Sasuke being consumed by hatred, and Naruto becoming a Genin. He joined Team 7 with Sasuke and Sakura, led by Kakashi, and later became Jiraiya's student. Naruto had multiple outbursts of the 9 tails chakra whenever his emotions spiked, but the Rinnegan inside him stayed dormant. It needed something stronger, a deeper, more intense emotion to finally awaken. After that, Orochimaru attacked Konoha. The 3rd Hokage sacrificed his life, and the village fell into chaos. Jiraiya and Naruto went on a journey to find Tsunade, hoping she would take the vacant Hokage seat. Everything changed the day Naruto, Jiraiya, and Tsunade faced Orochimaru and Kabuto. When Kabuto and Orochimaru crossed the line, mocking the title of Hokage and getting ready to kill Tsunade, Naruto became furious. Kabuto stepped forward, green chakra glowing in his hand, preparing to land a killing blow on Tsunade. "Die!" Kabuto shouted. Suddenly, a burning sensation exploded behind Naruto's left eye. The pain was so intense, it made him drop to one knee. But then, he could feel everything. Every bit of chakra, every blood vessel in Kabuto's body. His left eye slowly turned dark purple, with rings rippling out from the center. "What the?" Kabuto froze as he saw the strange eye in Naruto's face. A blast of invisible force shot out from Naruto's body like a shockwave. Kabuto was thrown back dozens of meters, crashing into a rock wall, blood bursting from his mouth. Orochimaru stood frozen, eyes wide in shock. It was Shinra Tensei.
If you're a true Naruto or Boruto fan, this one's for you. Drop a comment below of which 10 tails form is your most feared, and tell us why you think that. And don't keep the hype to yourself. Share this video with your fellow shinobi and join the debate. Hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of Naruto, Boruto, and the terrifying power of the 10 tails. Smash the bell icon so you never miss an upload, because things are only getting crazier from here. Let's keep the shinobi spirit alive. Next.
"Rinnegan?" Orochimaru whispered. Naruto stood there, breathing heavily, totally confused about what just happened. far away, hidden in the shadows, Obito felt the awakening of the Rinnegan. A rare smile spread beneath his mask. So, it has begun. Jiraiya stared at Naruto, realizing the prophecy was unfolding. The child of destiny had arrived. Tsunade watched him with a mix of shock and worry, still recovering. Orochimaru, though tempted by Naruto's power, chose to retreat with Kabuto, wounded and weary. In the following months, Naruto trained rigorously with Jiraiya to master the Rinnegan. Naruto advanced quickly, no longer limited to just shadow clones and Rasengan. He started mastering the Six Paths techniques. Meanwhile, Sasuke, driven by his desire to take revenge on Itachi, was determined to find his own strength. He followed Orochimaru, learning everything he could, and when there was nothing left to learn, he killed Orochimaru. Then came Itachi. The fight between the Uchiha brothers ended with Itachi's death. But then, a masked man appeared in front of Sasuke and revealed the shocking truth behind the Uchiha massacre, that Itachi was a hero, a man who sacrificed everything to protect Konoha and Sasuke. That moment, Sasuke awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan. Sasuke's heart filled with hatred. He transplanted Itachi's eyes into himself, gaining the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and swore to destroy Konoha. In Konoha, Naruto's Rinnegan made him extraordinarily powerful, and Obito decided it was time to talk to Naruto face to face. One day, while Naruto was training alone, a dark figure appeared. Uzumaki Naruto. His voice was deep and serious, no longer carrying the usual sarcasm. I think it's time we had a talk. Akatsuki! Naruto growled, getting into a fighting stance. You've been hunting me and the other Jinchuriki. Yes. And no. Obito revealed his scarred face and Rinnegan, explaining the Tsuki no Mi plan, a dream world free of pain and war, and urged Naruto to join him. Naruto listened, quietly, but then he shook his head. You really value this reality? Obito asked with a cold smile. A world full of suffering and injustice? A world where your friends have died and will keep dying? But Naruto wasn't the same kid anymore. He had real bonds now, teammates, comrades, people he truly cared about. And honestly, poor Obito didn't stand a chance against the strongest talk no jutsu user in history. Frustrated, Obito vanished. If you're not with me, you're against me. Failing with Naruto, Obito manipulated Sasuke further, fueling his hatred until Sasuke formed Team Taka, intent on destroying Konoha. Meanwhile, Jiraiya was getting more and more concerned. Something didn't sit right. Naruto only had one Rinnegan, and on top of that, Akatsuki's movements were starting to feel more and more suspicious. Something bigger was going on, so he decided to infiltrate the Hidden Rain village, which was believed to be the headquarters of Akatsuki. But what he didn't expect was a full-on welcome party, an army of Akatsuki members waiting for him. A brutal battle broke out. Jiraiya fought like a legend, but eventually he was overwhelmed. There were just too many of them. Near death, Jiraiya used his last chakra to send Konoha a warning. Akatsuki will attack soon to reclaim the Rinnegan. Be ready. With those final words, he closed his eyes for the final time. Sure enough, not long after, the attack came. But this time, it wasn't just Pain. It was the entire Akatsuki. Not like the original story, where only Pain invaded. This was a full-blown assault, led by all of Akatsuki's strongest members. The skies over Konoha turned a fiery red, as the red clouds of Akatsuki cloaks fell from all directions. They weren't giving Naruto any time to prepare. No time for Sage Mode. No time to come up with a plan. Kisame, wielding Samahada, tore through the eastern front, draining chakra from every ninja who stood in his way. Deidara bombed the village from the sky with electric birds, turning buildings into rubble. Sasori unleashed hundreds of puppets, launching an assault from the west. And in the center of it all, Obito, using Rinnegan, faced off directly against Naruto. Naruto quickly created shadow clones, but these weren't just normal Kage Bunshin. He had studied the Rinnegan in depth and understood that each path had its own special ability. So he carefully split his chakra and assigned a specific power to each clone. The battle was fierce, but slowly, Naruto began to realize he was at a disadvantage. The Rinnegan used up a massive amount of chakra. Even though he had a huge reserve thanks to his Uzumaki heritage and a bit of the Nine Tails chakra, it still couldn't compare to Obito, who was ridiculously tanky. On top of that, the enemy had Nagato, a pure-blooded Uzumaki who could literally act like a walking chakra battery for Obito. Naruto was gasping for air. One by one, his clones disappeared. He dropped to his knees, panting hard, blood dripping from his left eye. Naruto's chakra was fading, and the Nine Tails tried to break the seal, pushing him into uncontrollable rage. His body became engulfed in red chakra, reaching 6 tails, with Kurama taking over. If the 9 tails fully broke the seal, it would basically mean Naruto's death. Akatsuki would capture him and take back the Rinnegan. Every piece of the puzzle would fall into their hands, but then, deep inside his mind, 2 figures appeared. A man with yellow hair and a woman with red hair. His parents. Minato explained that they had left a part of their chakra within the 9 tails seal, hoping that one day it would help their son when he was in danger. With his parents' support, Naruto gradually regained control. Not only that, but he began to tap into a portion of the 9 tails power. Outside, in the real world, the red chakra surrounding Naruto gradually turned into a brilliant yellow, and the Rinnegan in his left eye also shone brighter. Obito and the Akatsuki members stepped back, stunned. But before the battle could continue, a thunderous crack split the sky, and a figure appeared between Naruto and Akatsuki. Sasuke Uchiha stood there, purple lightning chakra swirling around him. Move aside. Sasuke didn't care about Akatsuki's plans. He had only one goal: revenge for the Uchiha clan, and that meant Konoha had to be destroyed by his hand, not anyone else's. Sasuke and Pain faced off, creating a 3-way standoff: Naruto, Obito, and Akatsuki, and Sasuke. Akatsuki had already suffered heavy losses after their battle with Konoha's forces. Deidara was defeated by Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan, Kisame was pushed back by Gai's 8 Gates technique, and Sasori, even with his 100 puppets, had to face Sakura and many Konoha ninja. They decided to retreat, vowing to return with all their strength. Sasuke looked at Naruto, tightening his grip on the Kusanagi. Next time we meet, I won't hold back, Naruto. I'll destroy this village with my own hands, Sasuke replied, before vanishing in a gust of wind. Konoha lay in ruins after the attack. Many ninjas had fallen, but they survived, and that alone was a victory against the overwhelming power of Akatsuki. Tsunade called an emergency meeting with the other Kage. Akatsuki is no longer a threat to just Konoha. They are targeting the entire ninja world. They must unite. And so, the Ninja Alliance was formed. Meanwhile, somewhere out there, Kabuto proposed a deal to use Edo Tensei to provide Obito with a powerful army. In return, Kabuto only wanted to study the Rinnegan, and so Kabuto began to summon an army of legendary ninjas from all eras, from the first Kage to the Akatsuki members who had fallen. But most importantly, the final person Kabuto summoned was the true Uchiha Madara, in his strongest form. Not long after, Madara sought out Sasuke. "My descendant," Madara said, stepping out from the shadows. Sasuke immediately took a fighting stance. "Who are you?" "I am the one who created the path you are walking," Madara replied. "Uchiha Madara." Sasuke listened in silence as Madara spoke about his Tsuki no Mi plan, a world where no one would have to endure the pain of loss anymore. A world where Itachi was still alive, and the Uchiha clan had never been wiped out. Sasuke lowered his head, thinking about Madara's words. He silently agreed with the plan. In the end, the Great War took place. Madara stood like a god on the battlefield, untouchable and unstoppable. His recreated Rinnegan eyes emitted terrifying power as he wiped out hundreds of ninja from the Alliance, as if they were mere leaves before a storm. Naruto, even with one Rinnegan, could not stand up against the combined power of Obito with a Rinnegan and the immortal Edo Madara with his divine eyes. Every attack from Naruto was easily countered. Every strategy was read, as if the enemy already knew his every move. A decisive blow from Madara sent Naruto flying, his body bouncing off the ground several times before finally stopping, blood dripping from the corner of his mouth. "It's time to complete the plan," Madara signaled to Obito. Obito, with a determined look in his eyes, formed a seal and performed Rinne Tensei. The Edo Tensei body of Madara began to transform, returning to its true flesh and blood form. Now, Madara, fully restored and full of life, moved at incredible speed and reached Naruto, grabbing him by the throat. "Now, I will take back what is mine," he whispered, his other hand reaching to Naruto's eyes, ruthlessly ripping out his Rinnegan. Naruto's agonizing scream echoed across the battlefield, causing the remaining ninja of the Alliance to shudder. At the same time, Madara summoned Gedo Mazo. Now the 9-tailed red chakra began to drain from Naruto's body, and he struggled desperately, trying to protect Kurama. Now, Kurama understood Naruto's heart and regretted their years of conflict, but it was too late. At that moment, when Madara let his guard down, a brilliant beam of light cut through the air, and Madara was sent flying. It was Sasuke. "Your plan ends here, Madara?" Before Madara could react, Sasuke moved with impossible speed, cutting off the arm that held the Rinnegan. In an instant, he seized both Rinnegan eyes. He absorbed the Ten Tails, the beast created by Obito and Madara from the other tailed beasts. The massive chakra of the Ten Tails flowed into Sasuke's body, transforming him into the perfect Jinchuriki. "I am the true Jinchuriki of the Ten Tails," Sasuke declared, his right eyes glowing with a combination of Rinnegan and Mangekyou Sharingan, forming an entirely new form of eyes never seen before. No peace, no dreams. "I will create a new world, where the Uchiha will reign." This was what he called justice for the Uchiha clan. Even Madara, once considered invincible, could no longer stand against Sasuke. Naruto, bloodied and exhausted after his battle with Madara, tried to crawl up, reaching out toward his best friend. But just as he was about to die, he was enveloped in a warm light and transported to a timeless space. In front of him stood a tall man with two small horns on his head and Rinnegan eyes that glowed mysteriously. Hagoromo, the sage of the six paths. "Where am I?" Naruto asked, looking around at the unfamiliar space. "In your consciousness," Hagoromo answered. "And you're not alone here." From the darkness, 4 familiar figures appeared. The former Hokages, Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, and Minato. "The Rinnegan is my power," he said. "But that is only a part of my legacy. The prophecy states that there will be 2 inheritors of my power, one who inherits my will and one who inherits my strength. You inherited the will of my son Ashura, who always believed in love and connection. As for Sasuke, he inherited the power of Indra, who believed in strength and solitude. The person with the Rinnegan is not the chosen one," Hagoromo added. "That is the result of unnatural interference. But you, Naruto, are the true bearer of the will of peace." Minato stepped forward and handed half of Kurama back to Naruto. It was the power that was meant to belong to him. Hagoromo now, with Indra having chosen the dark path, he gave all his power to Naruto, the inheritor of Ashura. Hagoromo placed his hand on Naruto's forehead, and the former Hokages also stepped forward, placing their hands on his shoulders and returning their chakra to him. Naruto felt a new surge of power rising within him, strong and pure. "This is the true Rinnegan," Hagoromo said, as Naruto's eyes slowly turned light purple with concentric circles. "It is awakened from your very soul. I will help you with one more thing," he continued. He dispelled Edo Tensei, sending the souls of the warriors back to the Pure Land. "They don't belong here," he added, turning to Tobirama. "Life and death are natural laws, son." Naruto awakened with a radiant golden aura. His perfected Rinnegan shone with a mysterious purple color, and the air around him seemed to bend as his chakra. Sasuke narrowed his eyes as he sensed the change in his opponent. The chakra of the Ten Tails inside him surged violently, as if reacting to Naruto's presence. And this was their final battle. Sasuke activated his Susanoo. But unlike before, his Susanoo now enhanced by the chakra of the Ten Tails, growing into a gigantic creature hundreds of meters tall, with 6 arms, each holding a different weapon. Naruto, now fully merged with Kurama, transformed into a blazing golden creature with 9 chakra tails, ready for their final battle. The space around the two of them began to distort as their colossal powers collided. Each punch, each kick, carried the power to destroy entire mountains. Sasuke unleashed a massive Amaterasu, the black flames consuming everything in their path. But Naruto, with his new Rinnegan, extended his hand and absorbed the flames into his palm without being harmed. "My Rinnegan wasn't implanted, Sasuke," Naruto said. Sasuke activated Chibaku Tensei, but not just one, but dozens of gravitational orbs at the same time. The ground, rocks, and everything around them were pulled in, forming floating mini-planets in the air. Then, dozens of destructive spheres came crashing down. Naruto stood still, his Rinnegan eyes closing in absolute concentration. When he opened them again, his golden-orange chakra flared up intensely. "Rikudu Shinra Tensei!" Naruto shouted, extending both his hands forward. An invisible wave of energy erupted from his body, so powerful that it pushed back all the Chibaku Tensei orbs, shattering them into pieces and creating a meteor shower that rained down on the battlefield. "Sasuke," Naruto replied, his golden-orange chakra glowing warmly in the dark space created by Sasuke's black chakra. "This isn't my fight alone. This is a fight for all of us, who believe in a better world." Sasuke no longer laughed. He began forming hand signs, his black chakra gathering into a massive arrow on Susanu's bow. "This will be the final blow," Sasuke declared. "I will end everything here." Naruto nodded, his chakra condensing into a brilliant golden-orange sphere in his palm. "Rikudo, Rasengan." They both charged at each other, unleashing their strongest techniques. A blinding light erupted from the point of impact, engulfing both of them and spreading across the entire battlefield. Finally, both of them were left lying shattered on the ground. "Satisfied yet, or want to go another round?" Naruto laughed. Sasuke stayed quiet, thinking back on everything he had been through. Team 7, Itachi's sacrifice, everything. "So stubborn," Sasuke chuckled, unsure if he was talking about himself or Naruto. The two burst out laughing together. "Everyone's waiting for you. Kakashi-sensei, Sakura," Naruto added with a smile. And with that, the battle came to an end. The tailed beasts were freed. Sasuke, now possessing dual Rinnegan, became the Shadow Hokage, standing alongside Naruto. Naruto, of course, took on the role of Hokage, wielding the pure Rinnegan and the power of the 6 paths.